Hope your day's off to a good start. All right, everyone. Good afternoon, Women's Council Realtors Western Region leaders. Happy New Year. Here's to success, health, and prosperity in the year ahead. We're definitely glad you're joining us, and we want to welcome you to the first virtual New Year kickoff. This is a unique opportunity for us to bring purpose to our vision, get to know and connect with you, and provide you with information and answers that will bring success in the year ahead. Let's face it, a lot changed in 2020. Some expected and some not expected at all. However, we survived and we have thrived. We thank all of you who were involved and worked so diligently over the last year, and we thank you for your commitment in 2021. This year is the first year that we are divided into 3 regions across the country, each with a national liaison, which is a new position as well this year, one that will add significant value to our organization. We have our state networks following the new state network model. This will keep all of our states consistent, no matter the size. In addition to the organizational structure changes that we also have are some new and exciting things going on. Lots to talk about, and what a better time than the present. We asked you to join us today for several reasons. First of all, going into 2021, we learned a lot of things from 2020 because we are still in a virtual environment, and that means this type of environment requires more communication, not only with our members, but also with our leaders. Rest assured, with events such as this, our communication will be ongoing, and we will provide you with useful tools and information that will be helpful to you as a leader in our organization. It's important to us that you make the most of your leadership journey and gain skills that you can take back and use in your business and personal life. Second, in the past, many of you attended Network 360. We sent you away with lots of information in here and knowledge. And then we didn't connect with you until May at the May national meetings. So this year and moving forward, we will connect, keep you up to date, and let you know everything that's going on so that we can get acquainted better. It starts now with us reaching out to you in February with news that you can use. The Women's Council is constantly evolving and changing to meet industry trends and the needs of our members. Keeping you informed is key to all of our success. We also want you to know that what you do makes a difference, and we appreciate you. Before we get started, though, I would like to take a few minutes and tell you a little bit about me. First and foremost, I am truly honored to be your 2021 National President and represent all of you and our organization on a national and international stage. This has been an amazing journey, which I did not get to overnight. I earned my real estate license in 2000 and immediately immersed myself in the profession. My background is sales and marketing. As soon as I got into real estate, I was successful, but I wanted more, just like many of you. That is when my broker suggested I join the Women's Council of Realtors. In 2004, I was tapped on the shoulder by the current president of our local network, chapter at the time, and asked if I would be the vice president of membership, which now is the equivalent to director of membership. I said yes, and the rest is history. Fast forward to today, after learning so many business skills, meeting protocol, getting to know amazing people, and learning valuable techniques through the PMN designation course, which is the Performance Management Network designation, the official designation of the Women's Council. The time I spent in the trenches working in local and state leadership and attending conferences, my professional development soared. Doors of opportunities opened for me to get involved. I've served as chair and committee member for my local and state association, as well as board of director. And I've recently had the honor to serve on committees and for the last 2 years as a board of director for the National Association of Realtors. If it wasn't for my connection with the Women's Council of Realtors, none of this would have happened. The pathway to leadership is different for all of us. That is why we have so many options. People often ask me, did you always want to be the national president? My answer, no, I never thought of it. That is until I served on the National Executive Committee in 2017. That is when I realized I had more to give, and I made a decision and a commitment to run for the 2018 position of National Treasurer. It was a big decision. I had to have the support of my husband and put into place a plan for my business. And after thinking all of that through, my decision was made and I've never looked back. My membership dues has paid for itself over and over again, not only through referrals, but the knowledge I've gained connecting with like-minded professionals who are successful realtors, some of which have saved me personally from financial loss. Others have called me off the ledge when the economy crashed, and still others are long-lasting friends that support and encourage me. It is the relationships that we foster that makes the Women's Council a step above any other organization and gives us the competitive edge. No matter where you are in your leadership journey, we are here for you. No drama, please. We have no time for that. I have to say it because I've said it before, but it bears repeating. I want you to dream big and go big. The possibilities are endless. You can do it. Never give up. In the year ahead, we will challenge you to stretch beyond your comfort zone because that is where we get stronger. That is where we grow, and that is where we find courage. Our journeys are no different. We all want the same thing. We want to be respected, appreciated, loved, and financially secure. So as your 2021 president, my promise to you is to do my best to help you be your best. I can't wait to see what we accomplish together. As we get started with our presentation, you know the rules by now. However, we want to make the most of your experience with us today. So here are a set of the guidelines. The protocol for chat is to use it sparingly because it can be disruptive during the presentation. I don't know about you, but when something pops up in chat, I've always got to read it and it takes me away from the speaker. We are going to do our best to give you time to interact and provide you with what you need. We'll also have time for questions and answers at the end, and you can be assured that this presentation will be available on many different platforms for you to review. Before we get into the details, though, I would like to share with you one of my very favorite leadership quotes by John Quincy Adams. He says, "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader." This reminds us that being a leader is not a title or a position. It is an attitude of service to one another. The Women's Council provides us with those opportunities to grow and to inspire others while discovering our own potential. With education, knowledge is power. Networking, success in business is about building relationships. Referrals, adding to our financial bottom line. And leadership increases our skill level and our professional development. As leaders in this amazing organization we call the Women's Council Realtors, we can inspire others to believe in a collective power, uplifting one another so that positive change can happen. We have a fabulous 2021 team. At this time, I'd like to introduce all of them to you with these introductions, starting with our line officers. President-elect Sylvia Siebold. She has been a member for 20 years, longer than all of us, I think. Her home network is Collin County. She lives in Dallas, Texas. And when not working and volunteering in real estate, Sylvia enjoys traveling and spending time with family and friends. First Vice President, Chris Kalkola Lee. Chris has been a member since becoming an agent in 2007. Smart lady. Her home network is Southeast Idaho, and she lives in Idaho Falls. Outside of real estate, her passion is hiking, biking, paddling, skiing, and camping. She is our outdoor girl. Treasurer, Carrie Hartnett. Carrie joined the Women's Council the same year I did, 2004. Her home network is Greater Portland area. Last year, she made a move to Astoria, Oregon. Her passion when not doing real estate is what I think we all know, yoga, and she loves going to the beach and watching the waves roll in. And our newest addition to the national team in 2021, the National Liaisons. This is a brand new position this year. They are here to help you and to add another layer of support to the systems we already have in place. You will recall in the past, we had regional vice presidents. This position is not only consolidated, but also elevated. Their responsibilities include, but are not limited to, elected to oversee the work of the National Women's Council in their regions, a representative of the national leadership team. They serve on the national executive and the national nominating committees. They are the chair of the regional caucuses at the national meetings, which conduct the regional business affairs and exchange information. And they identified opportunities and or challenges within the region and assist wherever possible. The 2021 National Liaisons are the Central Region, Stacy Krolak. She lives and works in Scottsdale, Arizona, and joined the Scottsdale, Arizona network in 2013. She says her absolute best day on the planet, if not working seller real estate, is sailing on a catamaran in Maui, Hawaii. Sounds good to me. Take me along, Stacy. The Western Region is your very own Sheila Moran. Sheila has been a member since 1999, 2000, one of those years, maybe longer than Sylvia. Her home network is San Antonio. She lives in New Braunfels, Texas. She's a girl after my own heart. She loves to travel, stand-up paddleboarding, swimming, cooking, being a beach bum, reading, yoga, and spending time with her family and friends. The Eastern Region, Eileen Oldjoy. Eileen has been a member for 8 years. She's a member of the Orange County Network and wants to remind everyone it's the land of the real housewives of Orange County, but don't hold that against her. When she's not doing real estate, she enjoys hiking, riding her motorcycle, and guess what? Finding a good donut shop. Who'd have thought it? Not necessarily in that order. However, I think we can all appreciate a good donut from time to time, Eileen. The national liaisons are also assisted by the state liaisons, which is another new position this year and adds another layer of support. At this time, will all the state liaisons raise their hands and say hello? Out there, see some. Congratulations to all of you. It's good to see you. Thanks for being here. Last but certainly not least, I would like to introduce our amazing staff. They work behind the scenes to execute our events such as this, and believe me, we couldn't do it without them. They run a 10,000 plus member organization with 8 staff. They can do this because our pyramid structure, and we'll talk about that shortly, is from the bottom up. It is a volunteer-driven structure. Together, our Chicago staff is professional, committed, and experienced. They are here to ensure that you have a smooth year, to provide guidance, support, and together with the leadership team, to be a sounding board for you and or a hand to hand you a flashlight and point you in the right direction. We are fortunate to have such a great group keeping our organization going. Jeff, Debbie, Olivia, Donna, Jamie, Cindy, Jillian, and Patrick. A big thank you to all of them. So here you have it, our national line officers, our national liaisons, our national staff, you saw the state liaisons, all working together for the common good. Speaking of working together, we're currently working on an upcoming event that we want you to save the date. If you haven't already registered, please do so. It's the Elevate Growth Conference. Carrie is going to give us the details.
Thank you, Pamela, and good afternoon, Women's Council family members from the Western region. I think, Chris, we have a chant, West is the best, right? All right. Anyhow, a little bias here. I am so excited to share with you more about the Elevate Growth Conference coming up on February 4th and 5th, which is less than a month away. So this program was designed with all of our members in mind to help set the new year off on the right path. If you're a network leader, you'll walk away with tools, tips, and the collective brain trust of your colleagues to help make you a successful leader. If you're a business leader, and we all are, we'll address the very topics that are your why for joining the Women's Council, being a successful business leader. Because we understand how busy our members are, each session will be quick, relevant, and delivered in bite-sized chunks, with over a dozen lightning rounds offering curated content in 30 minutes, allowing you to time block and attend the sessions that are most relevant to you. Take advantage of learning from your peers, our very own Women's Council members that you know and love. They are just like you, busy, successful professionals who are part of the Women's Council to increase their business bottom line and hone their leadership skills. We'll dive into never before explored topics such as how can volunteerism in organizations such as the Women's Council increase your business? Should you hire an assistant? How do you deal with those different personalities? Will we be moving from online to in-person events this year? And what does that look like for your network? What does that look like for your business? We'll learn how to get real comfortable being uncomfortable because growth happens outside of your comfort zone. Something that I'm super jazzed about that for the first time ever, we'll be offering a 4-hour performance management network course called Certified Virtual Social Leader, which is the only certification of its kind. This course will help you hone your online leadership skills so that you can be as an effective leader online as you are in person. Please note that there is an additional fee, but after taking this course, you will become certified and it will count towards your PMN designation. Here at the Women's Council, face-to-face interactions are a signature feature of our events. We will have several Zoom rooms with a focus on socializing and networking. We know that you miss your Women's Council colleagues, and we all miss you too. So come for the camaraderie and leave with a new referral partner. We know your time is valuable, so we've booked the best names in the industry to deliver unique content packed into 2 days. We promise not to overtake your schedule, and we know you won't want to miss out. This event is open to all of our members, and individual registration is $125, making it accessible and easy on your wallet. And network leaders bring your whole entire leadership team of 6 for $500 for a savings of over 30%. We really can't wait to see you, and we look forward to a wonderful year. And Pamela, I'm going to send it back to you.
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you so much. You know, from lightning rounds to panels to fun, nothing is taboo at Elevate. So we look forward to seeing you there. Something else I wanted to share with you is our communication channels. The headquarters of the National Women's Council of Realtors is located in Chicago on Michigan Avenue in the National Association of Realtors building. Since March, the building has been closed due to COVID, and it continues to be closed for the unforeseeable future. To accommodate remote working and to further transform our organization, we wanted to let you know about our new member services communication channels. This is where you can reach us. They've been in place since October. Please note, we have a new 800 number. It's been effective since September. However, it's updated everywhere that we can, but we know that old numbers stay in your phone for a long time. So be sure to have the correct number, the 800 number on the screen, so that you can reach staff quickly and easily. There's also one email that you need to contact National, which is wcr@wcr.org. It has a Zendesk feature. Sounds peaceful. What it really means is we can track each and every inquiry and make sure that it gets to the right person and your inquiry or ticket gets solved for quality control purposes, and also provides us with valuable, important data. Finally, if you don't want to call or email, we have a live chat during business hours, Central Time, which is yet another layer of support for you. Questions, issues, troubleshooting, contact us via these channels, and we'll be sure to get the best answers to you as soon as possible. But wait, there's more. We have even more tools at your disposal. If you haven't already, please join the private Facebook page called Network 360 Year-Round 2021 Leaders. Take a screenshot of this URL and join. Interact with your peers, get the latest updates from National, ask questions, share best practices, get some great speaker ideas, get quick answers from staff and fellow colleagues. It's a page that is exclusively for network leaders, which is just another layer for you. New and updated this year is the Network Guide and Glossary, formerly known as LPPM, Leadership Policy and Procedure Manual. We have made it simple for you to find what you need quickly via the glossary. And that's a valuable tool to you as a leader. Everything you need to run your network can be found on this guide. It's available under the Network Tools button on WCR.org. Okay, I'm 98% Italian, Sicilian to be exact. I know because I did my DNA test. And Italian moms, like some other moms, are really good at laying the guilt trip. So here I go. If you don't read Roadmap, you will really, really hurt my feelings. Maybe even crush my heart. Are you feeling guilty yet? Please read Roadmap. The fact is, the open rate is only 60%. And it's only sent to our leaders. So what does that say? Do you not know about it? Or did you think it was maybe a waste of time, take up too much time? Well, now you know about it. And I'll tell you something, it's not a waste of time, I promise. It goes out twice a month, plus periodic flash memos of information. This communication is for you. That's you, the network leader, so that you know what's going on. This is a resource for information. It's quick, it's to the point, no fluff. All right, from time to time, you may miss opening one, and that's okay, not to worry, because we archive them on WCR.org under Roadmap. Keep informed, read Roadmap. The next slide I wanted to share with you because I think it's important that you understand how our organization operates. Every organization is different. At the Women's Council of Realtors, we have a bottom-up structure. So what does that mean? It means that members and leaders across all levels of our organization are engaged, involved, and aligned with our mission and our vision. We are a member-centric organization. We have a can-do culture, which allows opportunities for members and leaders to share ideas so that we can focus our efforts on adding value to our members and our organization. In addition, this structure provides our members and leaders many leadership and professional development opportunities, as you can see on this slide. With project teams focused on everything from how our networks operate to certifications and diversity. Smaller groups coming together to discuss and make recommendations. We also have task force that dive deeper into relevant trends that are important to our business, our organization, and our industry. This is the third year of our Leadership Institute. This is for individuals that want to take their leadership to the next level. Look for the applications to open mid-year this year for 2022. 2021 is already filled. Every level has a stake in the success and future of the Women's Council of Realtors. It starts at the local level, it builds at the state level, and it filters to the national level. We are all stakeholders. So far, we've informed you about information about the national leaders, the structure of our organization. We talked about the Elevate Growth Conference. Now it's time to get down to business. Your first task of the new year as a local and state leader is to recruit and renew. The pillar of any successful network is recruiting and renewing members. Dues renewals went out November 1st, and to date, we have enjoyed a robust renewal season. In November, we offered 10% off of national dues renewals when members renewed by December 31st. We currently have a 3-month grace period before a member is dropped. The drop off date is March 31st. So you still have time to implement strategies to retain your members that have not yet renewed, start calling, emailing, telling them about the great programming that you are going to have planned for 2021. This week, you will be provided 2021 microsite access. Thank you for your patience while we change both leader photos and access for 1,300 of our new leaders. Our next task is redesigning and enhancing the member roster and not yet renewed reports, which we know are key tools for you in your network efforts. This will be ready mid-January, so stay tuned on instructions and information in guess where? Roadmap. This year, the new year, is always the busiest time of the year for recruitments, and we are halfway through our 60-day new member holiday spring sprint deal. Any new member that joins by January 31st will get $25 off the Elevate Growth Conference. They will get exclusive access to Wealth, Health, and Power Week and National Conference recording sessions. Check out the details on WCR.org. We also have a recruiting regional challenge. Yes, we have a challenge. So what region is going to lead the way in 2021? You will hear more about it from your national liaison. It starts now. Use this time to emphasize our virtual benefits and our plans for transitioning back to live events. We are thinking that 2021 is going to be a hybrid of virtual and live, but only time will tell. Why should a realtor join? The Women's Council is a great investment for realtors who want to learn, earn, and network. We have so much to offer no matter where they are in their careers. Referrals, training, top producers, connections, and member discount benefits. I use my card every time I go to Office Depot and I save a ton of money. Now that's what we call a high five. In my opening remarks, I said we had some new and exciting things to talk about. Here is one of them that Sylvia is going to share with you for our network certification program. Sylvia?
Good afternoon, everyone, and a happy new year. I hope your year is already rocking because it's busy. And I'm super excited because I just have to share, we had snow in Texas yesterday. Like the whole state was covered in snow, which is like an anomaly, and it's just really cool. But it's also cold. So exciting things happening at National is you can get a certified network. And so the first thing I want you to do is all of you just take like a very Zen, Carry yoga, deep breath, because I don't want you to freak out over the certification. I'm serious, take a deep breath. It's all going to be fine. And I don't want you to panic. So I'm going to hit the highlights and not talk about the nitty gritty of the actual certification program, but just the who, what, when, why, where, all of that fun stuff. So for many years, all of us on the leadership team, and I know Heather's on here, I have sat at the executive committee, and if you were here, if you're a member about 8 to 10 years ago, you remember this massive report that we had to do. It was like you shipped like this many papers to National, and but ever since that went away, everyone's been asking for it back, basically. And what we did is we are bringing it back, but we're bringing up a very modified version of it, a very hip version of it, because you're not having to print paper, and you can just submit it online. And so what this is we are going to certify and recognize networks and mainly reward you for actually doing your responsibility of fulfilling the network model and your affiliation agreement. We are, as realtors, we love recognition. And so we want to give gold stars to everyone that is fulfilling the duties, and not only just fulfilling it, but exceeding it. When we have networks that are not operating to our standards, it waters down our brand. Think about the Starbucks model and how you go to Starbucks and you can order your Starbucks drink and you know they're going to get it right. And so we want to make sure that every network is exceeding expectations of average realtors out there for what they're expecting. So what this is there's 5 benchmarks that you will need to meet to get to this network excellence. And this exceeds your basic charter information that if you were chartering, it exceeds those requirements. Who is eligible to do this? This is for our local networks and our state networks. Both have the opportunity to be certified. The when. So we are going to open the application process, and the application process is August 1st of 2021 through October 1st of 2021. And this is very important that you mark October 1st, like hard deadline. Don't try and submit on October 2nd because it won't happen. And the reason for that is we are going to award certifications at our national conference in San Diego. And I know everyone is looking forward to being in San Diego and hugging or air hugging all of our friends that we haven't seen in so long. So you will want to be there and receive your certification. So that October 1st is a hard deadline. So the where and the how of all of this. So you will go online and fill out an application. This application is a self-assessment of what you have done to determine if your network is meeting and exceeding basic benchmarks. Now, I don't want to get into all the details, but this is not scary at all. It's, for example, if you look at your network model and you're supposed to have 4 industry events. If you have your 4 industry events, you're checking that box. Easy peasy. I promise this is nothing like it used to be for anyone that's been around for a while. The why. We want to certify networks so that are fulfilling requirements because we want to recognize the cream of the crop. Those that are doing an amazing job. We learned this last year, and in the whole virtual world, we really had local networks and state networks that were rising to the top. It was amazing to see what you did in a virtual world last year. And so we want to recognize you for those things that you're doing. You'll get recognition at the national conference. You're going to get an electronic badge that's similar to the one that's on the screen. Let's talk about the date on there. It says 2021-2022. So you will receive your certification in November, but that certification carries through 2022. And the reason I point this out is because President and President-elect should be working hand in hand. Your whole team should be working together. But President-elect should definitely be joined at the hip with your president as close as you can, socially distanced. But be joined there, whether it's virtually or actually in person and you're 6 feet away, and learn from them. This is going to teach you how to be a great president and how to meet all these expectations, because that's what happens when we don't know what expectations are, we fail to deliver. But when we know what expectations are, we can exceed them. So definitely when you're awarded this in 2021, if you are a 2022 president, you'll be able to say that I'm president of Women's Council, fill in the blank, and we're a certified network. And that brings a little bit of bragging rights, which is what we all like to do as realtors. Because if you live like I do in a major metropolitan area, and this will be put on the national website where the certified networks are, then if you're in a major metropolitan area and say, I'm trying to recruit Carrie to join a network in my major metropolitan area, and Carrie sees that this one network is certified, whereas another one is not, which one do you think she's going to choose? She won't know what certification means, but it's kind of like buying a certified pre-owned car versus just buying a pre-owned car. You don't really know what that means, but you know it means something, and it gives it a little bit more credibility. So that's another thing. And also we'll have some press releases that you can use, and we will have a lot of training on this. I'm not getting into the nitty gritty, but I promise there'll be training coming up at Elevate, as Carrie talked about, and the link is in the chat. Be sure and register for it because we'll be talking about it then. And also we'll have more training for state and local networks after Elevate too. I think that's it, Pamela, back over to you.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. Okay, now for the subject that everybody has been waiting for, and that is bylaws. Bylaws is such a little word, yet it's so big in importance. They are the go-to source for our organization. Here to shed some light on our bylaws task force is Chris.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm having a few audio issues, so I'm going to do the Verizon Wireless. Can you hear me now? Yes? Okay, good. Thank you. Good afternoon. So happy to actually see faces again. So welcome to 2021. I always get the really exciting topics. You know, they take a spreadsheet girl that likes formulas and they're like, bylaws, how to run a meeting, you. So here I am, and I can see you're all just sitting at the very edges of your seat, wondering what the bylaws are going to be. No. So we have a task force in place at the national level. We have several task forces in place, but I have the great honor to chair the bylaws task force. We've met a few times. I just want to give you a quick update what that means for you. You may have heard that over the past, I don't know, 8 years, every 6 months or so, we do a bylaws change at the national level. And it has to do with rolling out the local model, rolling out the state model. What this group is doing is looking at all 3 of those bylaws at the local, state, and national levels, making sure that there are no conflicts or inconsistencies is the word I'm looking for, and kind of basically redlining, going through, and then also making sure that just kind of thinking through the logic of them and make sure that something wasn't cut out along the way that should have been in there or that we thought was in there. And then also we may make some, sorry, let me back up. Feeding into any bylaws changes, we are waiting on a couple of other and working with a couple of other task forces, such as Sylvia's certification, network certification one. Heather is chairing a diversity and inclusion task force, and there are a couple other task forces also out there that we just are kind of waiting to see if they have any recommendations that may affect the bylaws. So hopefully any recommendations that this task force would have to bring to the governing board would kind of incorporate all the changes and clean it up, and hopefully we could be done with bylaws changes every 6 months. That's the goal here. So one other thing we're looking at is the long renewals cycle. As it is right now, we start billing in October, November, and then the dues are due January 1st, technically, although there's a grace period until the end of March. So I've heard people say they're not really due until. So basically what that means is we are imposing upon our local leadership a 5-month renewal cycle. And it's a lot of, they are spending a lot of time and energy, not only recruiting members, but also trying to get members to renew, and almost for half of their terms. So that's a lot of pressure on our locals. We're looking at how we can alleviate that so they can do the job that they're actually there to do and to make their life a little more simple. So you may see some of that coming down. If I had my druthers, I'd be like, January 1st, we all know how to pay a bill, but that probably won't be how it'll go. So we are going to take some consideration on this and make sure that we can do this in a way that's thoughtful, that will actually help our local and state network leaders and not hinder their membership efforts. So stay tuned for that. That will be something we'll likely see coming, a recommendation coming out of this group. Also, they will likely make some sort of recommendation. We've looked at this in the past about having policy versus bylaws and standing rules at the local and state level versus bylaws. What does that mean? We don't have a template for standing rules as it is now. We may make a recommendation for that down the road. This is not something that's going to happen in the first half of the year, I don't think. But there is a difference between standing rules and bylaws. Not everybody is super clear on what those are. And in some instances, your network standing rules may actually conflict with your bylaws. And we don't have a copy of everybody's standing rules, and we can't go through all those. So that's something that we will probably look to make a recommendation about down the road also, and have a look at that once again. In the interim, there was last year, and talking about our virtual benefits and the podcasts, one of the podcasts that we have recorded and it's posted on our website is actually, I think it was a lightning round from Network 360 last year. And Heather, I saw her on the panel here. Hi, Heather. Heather chaired that last year, and it's a little bit longer because it was a lightning round, so it's about a half an hour, but it's actually about standing rules and the difference between standing rules and bylaws. So in the meantime, it would really probably help you out to have a listen to that as you're driving to your next appointment and get an idea of standing rules, and then have a look at yours and see, are there inconsistencies there? Do they conflict with your other policy and governing documents and with our bylaws? So that will give you a head start in the whole thing. It's a great podcast, heard a lot of great reviews, check it out. And finally, because I'm talking about all the exciting things, but a lot of these opportunities, we're all talking a lot about different task forces and opportunities for being involved in leadership at the national level, frankly. And when this spring, when the Leadership Identification and Development Program rolls out, that is actually administered at the state level. And what that is a committee that's looking at filling your leadership pipeline at the local and the state level, as well as saying, look across our state, here are 3 or 5 really great candidates that we feel national could benefit from their talents, and vice versa. And now that we are in this going forward, hopefully hybrid delivery system where the national network is able to do more delivery directly to our members, there are more opportunities for this and to be involved in other task forces and online things that we're rolling out, and podcasts is a great example. So have a look at that. When that comes out this spring at your state level, participate in that, encourage your members, your up and coming leaders to submit their names and be interviewed and go through the process and see how the Women's Council might be able to help them and how they might help us as well. So that's my little plug for LID, as well as my quick update about bylaws. Nothing concrete yet, but that's where it is. So thank you, Pamela.
So all in the name of progress, the Women's Council of Realtors is an organization of opportunities and experiences, helping you to be the best that you can be. Thank you, Chris, for the great information. Keeping us informed at the national level and keeping you informed at the state level is your national liaison. We shared with you their role and responsibilities. Now your national liaison, who is Sheila, will go over details of how she's going to work with you in your region this year. Please welcome Sheila.
Thank you, Pamela. As mentioned, my name is Sheila, and I'm so excited to be your Western National Liaison. I'm a member of Women's Council for over 21 years, and I hail from the San Antonio network in Texas. I was one of those members that was super busy building my business some 20 odd years ago with blinders on and stuck in my office. I went occasionally to a meeting, but when the topic only suited me. But I never felt that I fit in, or was I willing to invest my time into showing up to meetings. It wasn't until my boys grew a little older that I thought, I'm not growing, I'm not learning enough, and where's a place that I can put my streamlined efforts into something that encompassed both sharpening my skills, learning and growing, creating a network within the agents within my city, and an opportunity to give back and just really get to know my peers on a different level. And I decided it was Women's Council was where it was at. I was first asked to be the communications tech chair in San Antonio, and then a task force, and I'm sure you can figure out where the rest came from. One of my biggest aha moments was when I met Amy, a fellow realtor. I noticed that she worked a lot like I did, and we were about 50 minutes from each other within our city. We got together, we had lunch, we talked about how we handled our business, what our philosophies were, and what we started to do was to kind of divide up our city. Anything that I got for a client, I would send over to her, and likewise. We did this for somewhere between 8 and 10 years. That relationship grew into something until she moved away a couple of years ago. It was so robust that we stopped sending each other the referral fee as we realized at the end of the year that it was quite equal. I can't tell you the time that she saved me, the money that she put into my pocket, and what a great friendship we were able to build. I think of it as networking at its finest. I'm a high D, but I work my hardest on a daily basis to make sure that I'm relatable to all kinds of personalities. If you ever find me not speaking your language, I beg you to stop me and share your personality type so I can adjust, because I want your experience with me to be stellar. I encourage you to really get to know your members, know what their goals are, and figure out a way to align them within your networks or special task forces that you might need to create. Just get them involved. Don't be like me in the past. I wasted so many years by not being involved, and it's one of my biggest regrets to this day. Be that member that only takes. Don't be that member that only takes, because I promise you, what you put in, you will reap. Now let's also talk about what the national liaisons would like to do for you and our commitment to you. And I say we, I really mean we. The three of us have formed a successful communication forum, as well as sharing within our ideas. So the bottom line is we want to get to know you better. So be hearing from us in January for a chat to determine how we can assist you in your goals and your struggles for this year. If you will please plug me into your phone, that number is 210-325-6962. I'll put it in the chat, but the number is 210-325-6962. Some of the things that we are helping with compliance and reporting, we're happy to address budgeting, strategic planning, and for those states without a state network, helping with the standardized operating procedure, just to help you have a great year. The other thing, the more that I have as your national liaison, the more I can assist you in your year. When you are getting a phone call from me, I don't want you to be I don't want to talk to her, or I don't want to answer that phone call. I'm not here to call you to the carpet. I'm here in the most traditional way of being able to assist you. But not only if you are open and honest with me, can I help national understand which trends might be happening if I'm noticing it in different networks or in different states. We're also committed to provide you a monthly training based on what we provide, we think that you guys need, or what you're feeling that you might need, because we're open to all requests. We can concentrate on the following: conflict management, personality styles, working with Canva, local network operations, leadership development. This is meant to be a fluid needs-based training or an emerging needs. And lastly, per the goal of Pamela for 2021, each region is committed to obtaining 1,000 new members by the end of the year. We will be calling on our state liaisons for implementation, but think of this 1,000 per each region broken down is an easy commitment, especially with all that we have to offer. The next slide is some advice and tips that I have for you. Please remember that leadership is not about a title or position like Pamela had mentioned before. It's a journey of a lifetime. Understand the concept of servant leadership. People are taking time away from their families and their businesses. This should also be an enriching experience and not a chore. Learn the most important type of leadership, which is lead by example. Have everyone take the DISC or other personality assessment so you know how to interact with each other. This is one of the first things that the national liaisons and I did with each other. So we can understand how I need to react. Two of us are a certain, and one of us is of a different type. So I know that we have to adjust my listening skills as well as how I interact with her to be able to get the best from her, because she has a lot of input and to give to the group. But I've got to take that time to be able to allow her to go through her process. And if you haven't heard of the story of the Tower of Babel, I encourage you to seek it out. This fable is it was one of the first major engineering undertakings of humankind, as well as the first major management failure. The project of the tower failed in few respects: cultural diversity, understanding, communication, and organization. Team members were not able to talk effectively with each other, and the consequences lacked coordination. This deteriorated relationships, resulting in conflict and jealousies, with different groups isolating themselves. Had to learn each other's language in order to build a tower. Make sure that you're working as a team and you understand where all your key components are. Learn your job description, your standing rules, and your Roberts rules. Eliminate so much misunderstanding when you know the rules of the road. And of course, we all have different leadership styles. One is not better than the other. They are all different. Think about the different cars on the road. There are sports cars, SUVs, luxury sedans, box vans, buses. They're all different, but they have the same purpose: to get you to your destination. We are all on a leadership journey. We have a different leadership styles to get us to our destination. And one of the biggest things that I have is that when you have a team of different people, it's well-rounded and it's a nice circle and it flows a lot easier as long as everybody can respect the other person's situation. Find other leaders. We need more diversity in our leadership. More people to embrace the servant leadership. We are, after all, leaders made here. Don't keep us a secret. As a leader, and especially the president, this is your biggest responsibility. Besides finding more leaders, these 4 words will help you lead your network: direction, decision, delegation, and consensus. And the last thing, think before you speak. Is it truthful? Is it helpful? Is it inspirational? Is it necessary? Is it kind? please think before you speak. Enjoy the journey. This is an experience for you on your own personal and professional development. Have a good time doing it and help your team have a good time too. Women's Council shouldn't burn you out. It should fill your soul tank. Above all else, remember, you have a friend to rely on. It's me. And for guidance, for counseling, or if you need a shot in the arm of goodwill, I'm here for you. Help me so I can help you. I need you to be honest about your situations. I need you to be open to ideas and suggestions. Let's work together to make your 2021 a raving success. Back to you, Pamela.
Wow, that was really great, Stacy. Thank you so much for the story, for the advice, and most importantly, for sharing your information with us. You know, what we had today was a lot of information. We introduced you to our leadership team. We talked about being a leader. We gave you a challenge for recruiting and renewing members. We shared with you the tools and resources. We let you know how to contact us. We promoted our upcoming Elevate Growth Conference. We talked about those important bylaws. We shared with you an exciting new network certification program. All of this is in an effort to build a strong, cohesive team in 2021. We have certainly enjoyed spending time with you. We hope that you enjoyed spending time with us. This year is about you and the unique business leadership that you bring to the Women's Council of Realtors. We are a diverse group of leaders. We all have talked about that. Sheila mentioned it, that are different and have different skills. At Network 360, we asked our leaders to summarize themselves in one word. This slide is a combination of those words from Network 360. What is your one word? Before we depart, let us know in the chat box. Share with us your one word as a leader for 2021. And while we're sharing our one word, this is a great opportunity for you to ask any questions that you may have. Focused, love it, love it. Spin, membership, yes, discipline. Driven, membership, love it. Passion, full of grace, we know that one. Determined, committed, open-minded, love it. Teamwork, inspired, engagement. Tenacious, good one. Intentional, love it. There's so many great words, and our actions sometimes speak louder than our words, but our words give us a focus. So remember to stay committed to them. Do we have any questions?
I don't see any hands raised. If you do have questions, raise your hand in the participant box if you would. Or if anyone has seen any come through chat, I had to jump off for a minute for my audio
let me
issues.
just see. This is your chance. I love the words. Thank you so much. Keep those words in front of you. All right. Well, seeing none, I guess we did a really great job.
We do have one question. Sorry.
Here we go.
Last minute question here. Hey, Merg.
Happy New Year, everyone. Great program. Thank you so much for all of this wonderful information. I could not write fast enough. So thank you for reminder to save the chat because there's some good information. I wanted to find out if there's any task force people that are in demand or needed. We've had several people that have said that they would love to volunteer on a national level. So if you're good for 2021 and we just need to look forward to 2022, that's fine, but just wanted to check in.
Well, we are also always looking for great leaders. And if someone has a talent in an area of expertise, we need to know about it. Like, Chris talked about the leadership identification and development. That is going to be coming up. And that's where you share all those great things that you can, your experiences, your expertise with us so that we can tap into you. We are always looking to bring someone up. That again is from our experiences and the opportunities that we have to offer. So yeah, if you've heard of anyone that's really good at something, let us know. We're always looking.
And
Thank
I
you.
would just add to that, Pamela and Kay, that that link is open year round.
Mhm.
And people can self-submit their names and they will go to the state as well. The deadline that's in there in the spring is for the state to submit names to national for the following year. So anytime you get names, the states have a limited number that they can submit each year from their state, depending on their size. And all of those program guidelines are in that program, but that link for self-submission is open year round. It's on the website.
Yes, and we are always open too. So
And
let
I'd
us
like
know.
to add to that.
Yeah.
Also new this year, your state liaisons, every state that has a state liaison submits approximately quarterly reports to their national liaison, to Sheila. And on that would be emerging leaders. So Kay, if someone in California is an emerging leader that you want to get on nationals radar for whatever reason, maybe they're a great presenter, whatever it is, make sure it gets submitted on that report that goes to the national liaison.
Get it in the nitty gritty.
Thank you.
All right. Well, seeing no other questions, on behalf of the entire leadership, we would like to thank you for your time, your talents, your commitment, your dedication to the Women's Council of Realtors. We appreciate the contributions that you make, and we look forward to a great year ahead. It is said the whole is only as good as the sum of its parts. Lucky for us. Have a great year, and we look forward to seeing you at Elevate. Thank you.
Thank you.